Pro Temp is recognized, Senator Ping Lacson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, Your Honor, may I propose the following amendments to the fiscal year 2026 General Appropriations Bill, House Bill number 4058 under Senate Finance Committee Report number 18. For the Department of Public Works and Highways, deduct the amount of 2 billion pesos from the payments of right-of-way, 1 billion pesos under the various completed projects for the payments of right-of-way, ROW for nationwide/central office, and another 1 billion pesos, 1 billion pesos from the various ongoing projects for the payments of right-of-way, similarly under the nationwide/central office. Let me explain, Mr. President. Mr. President, the nationwide central office's payments for right-of-way appropriations are redundant as funds are already allocated regionally. If these funds are essential, they should be allocated to the relevant regions. Hence, the amount deducted from the payment of ROW shall be the source of the proposed budgetary amendments. Number one, state universities and colleges. For the state universities and colleges, on the proposed budget of University of the Philippines system, an increase of 30 million pesos for the UP and CPAG governance reform, innovation and transformation collaboratory or GRIT labs. The UP and CPAG governance reform, innovation and transformation collaboratory has served as a cross-disciplinary platform that develops informed data analytics, evidence-based research, and capacity-building programs. Through this program, UP and CPAG assisted the Senate and other government agencies in data analysis and policy reform. The budgetary increase will meet their critical operational needs for continued meaningful collaboration between the academe and government reform. Department of Transportation. For the Department of Transportation, an increase of 400 million pesos for the construction of the DOTR Cars Regional Office. Again, let me explain, Mr. President. The DOTR is a revenue-generating agency. Its reported collections in 2024 were 13.2 billion, targets 13.4 billion for this year, and projects 13.5 billion for 2026. The DOTR Cordillera Administrative Region alone generated about 393 million pesos in 2024 and has already accumulated revenues of about 197 million from January to April this year. Despite being a revenue-generating agency, the regional office of DOTR CAR has been renting from the Philippine Postal Corporation, incurring an annual rental expense of 1.96 million. And it must be noted that the DOTR CAR already acquired a 2,300 square meter parcel of land in 2018. Further, this project was originally part of the Tier 1 proposal of the DOTR to the National Expenditure Program. But to this end, funding the construction of this building is not only practical, but also a fiscally responsible strategy. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, I would like to thank Senator Lacson for helping the committee to find sources. Yung po pinakamahirap po maghanap ng source. And I would like to thank Senator Lacson for identifying items that are unutilized. Tulad po ng right-of-way. Yan po talaga ay mabagal po yung utilization. So, Mr. President, the amendments are deemed submitted for consideration of the body.
Thank you, Mr. President. Next, Anti-Red Tape Authority, very close to the heart of the Majority Leader. On the proposed budget of the Anti-Red Tape Authority, an increase of 90,991,000 pesos is hereby proposed. Mr. President, this proposed increase is intended to sustain momentum in promoting efficiency in government transactions and to fully implement the provisions of Republic Act 11032 or the Ease of Doing Business and the Efficient Government Service Delivery Act of 2018. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. President. And once again, that was thoroughly discussed during the budget briefings as well as the plenary debates. So thank you again to Senator Lacson for bringing this proposal to the body. The amendments are deemed submitted for consideration of the body.
On the proposed budget of the Commission on Higher Education, delete the Tulong Dunong program in the total amount of 2,727,746,000 pesos and transfer the same amount to the tertiary education subsidy. Let me explain, Mr. President. With the passage of Republic Act 10931 or the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act of 2017, Tulong Dunong as a separate program was ultimately deleted and merged under the TES. However, the fiscal year 2023 appropriations and subsequent appropriations resurrected the Tulong Dunong program. Though not recommended by the National Expenditure Program, Tulong Dunong is now included in the House version of the General Appropriations Bill. Per data from CHED, there are more than 2.3 million unaccommodated students under the TES because they are not covered by the program's prioritization. To be able to finance them, an amount of about 34.68 billion is required. This enormous funding gap in the TES is a strong case against creating a separate program like Tulong Dunong when the primary need is not even fully funded. I so move, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. The amendments are deemed submitted for consideration of the body.
With the permission of the sponsor of the measure, can I just get clarification on the test because I'm a big supporter of the test. How much can His Honor just repeat? How much did he move from Tulong Dunong to test?
That's 2,727,746,000 pesos.
Okay, because Mr. President, the figures I have, I am a big supporter, totally support 100%. I just want to ask the chairman if what is the total amount now reflected for TES? TES is the tertiary education subsidy. The amount I have is 3.64 billion based on the committee report that was released. Is that correct? Sorry. Additional 3.64 billion added by the Senate for a total of 27.32 billion. Does this include the amount of Senator Lacson?
No, Mr. President. It doesn't include the addition of the Senate is for the 4 Ps beneficiaries. So Senator Lacson's
but also
proposal,
under TES. It's also TES.
Yes, a different account. It's called Tulong Dulong. Mr.
No, I
President.
know, but sorry. So under the committee report that reflects a 3.64 billion addition of the Senate, what is that item?
Yes.
What is that item?
It's under Tulong Dulong, Mr. President. Yung 2 billion na nabanggit ni Senator Lacson. I think the proposal is from Tulong Dulong to be subsumed under TES, Mr. President. Yun yung proposal.
So the Tulong Dunong, the
That's-
3.64 that I'm mentioning is actually a Tulong Dunong item.
No,
And-
Mr.
No.
President. It's for TES.
Okay, so
But
it's
the-
TES.
yes.
That's what I have, and
Yes,
that's what I
yes.
said. It
Tama
is
po.
TES.
Yeah.
So I go back to my question. The Senator Lacson's amendment, is that already subsumed here or this is
No.
now in addition?
In addition.
O, yun lang naman yung tanong ko.
In addition. Sorry.
So,
I
because
think
I will get to my point. So 3.64 plus
7 to 7.
2.7. So we will have something like
More than 6 billion.
6.3 billion, something like that. That is very important, Mr. President, because my understanding is of the current 27.32 billion of TES, which includes the amendments of the chairman, but does not yet include His Honor's amendment. The good thing is it will accommodate new TES beneficiaries. However, the amount that each beneficiary will get is so small. Around the third year that I was handling the budget of higher education, those students receiving tests and going to public schools were receiving 20,000 per semester. And now they are only receiving 10,000 per semester. So if you assume that a semester is about 3.5 months, that's 3,000 pesos a month for board, lodging, transportation, books, notebooks, etc., etc. And then if you will receive tests as a private school student, we used to give 30K, 30,000 a sem. And now it is 13,500, 1/3. And on record, we have established, not coming from me, but coming from CHED and the advocates, that the result of this lowering of the test is that a lot of students drop out. So I would like the body to consider that. We're not giving the amount that they need to finish school.
Mr. President,
So anyway, I rest my case.
yeah,
I don't know if it's
I
the
can
proper
still-
time, but I just wanted to thank His Honor for his amendment. But I'd like the chairperson the committee to consider how are we going to use these most valuable funds to make it the most effective for those in need. Thank you.
Mr. President, with the number of amendments that I have, I'm still leaving because I deducted 2 billion pesos from the budget of the Department of Public Works and Highways. I'm still leaving a
more.
fiscal space of around 1,016 million pesos. And I leave it up to the chair
Yeah. Okay.
to use that amount, given your intervention, to augment further the budget of the tertiary education subsidy.
Thank you. We appreciate
But
that.
I leave it to the chairman,
Yes.
Mr. President.
And at the proper time, maybe we can ask the chairman, we'll give him time to respond to this concern, because I don't see the point of letting them go through. We don't even have these courses that makagraduate ka man lang with a liberal arts 2-year program na may ganun panahon ng mga tatay natin. Wala. Magda-drop out ka lang after second year, wala kang tinapos dahil yung tulong na binigay natin hindi kompleto. Maraming salamat, Senator Lacson.
Thank you. Next, Mr. President, the judiciary. For the judiciary, on the proposed budget of the Supreme Court of the Philippines and the lower courts, allocate the amount of 243,789,671 to fund the operationalization of the Supreme Court Judicial Integrity Office for fiscal year 2026. Again, let me explain, Mr. President. Supreme Court and Bank Resolution AM number 231205 SC, or the Supreme Court, abolished the Judicial Integrity Board, or JIB, and created the Judicial Integrity Office under the supervision and control of the Supreme Court, which shall be headed by the Judiciary Integrity Officer, who shall be appointed by the Supreme Court. During the plenary interpellations, Mr. President, on the budget of the judiciary, the need to fund the creation of the Judicial Integrity Office was recognized, hence this proposal, Mr. President. I so move, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Lacson. Mr. President, the amendments are deemed submitted for consideration of the body.
Again, for the judiciary, increase the appropriations of the Court of Appeals by 223,664,000 pesos for the critical gaps in staffing and personal services. The Court of Appeals originally proposed 8.472 billion, but was cut significantly to 5.788 billion. We therefore propose this increase to address the critical gaps in staffing and personnel services, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. The amendments are deemed submitted for consideration of the body.
Next, Development Academy of the Philippines. For the budgetary support to government corporations on the appropriations of the DAP, an increase of 28,500,000 pesos is specifically to support the DAP Graduate School of Public and Development Management. Again, let me explain, Mr. President. Continuing education is crucial for improving the technical and leadership capacities of our government employees. The DAP GSPDM has provided ladderized and master's programs for our civil servants. However, despite the growing number of enlistees this year or each year, DAP can accommodate only a small fraction due to budget constraints. Hence, to ensure wider accessibility to continuing education and a higher return on public investment, the increase in the DAP GS-PDM appropriations is proposed. I so move, Mr. President.
Mr. President, the amendments are deemed submitted for consideration to the body.
That's all for the individual amendments concerning the budget, Mr. President. For the special provisions, Department of Health. For the special provision on the Department of Health, amend special provision number 4 on the Quick Response Fund to clarify the appropriate utilization of the QRF. By stipulating the types of resources and activities such as engagement of emergency health personnel and procurement of additional supplies and commodities, the revision will help ensure that the QRF fund utilization aligns closely with its primary purpose of rapid health service restoration and intervention. Hence, on page 1045, Volume 1-A of the fiscal year 2026 GAB, after the word "of," delete the word "medical." On the same page, after the word "equipment," insert the phrase "procurement of additional emergency health commodities / supplies and other essential resources," and delete the words as well as. On the same page, line 21, after the word "assistance," insert the phrase "including emergency engagement of health personnel to provide medical and public health services and for other operational expenses during the response phase of the emergency or disaster to ensure the rapid restoration of health services, the delivery of critical health interventions, and the stabilization of the health conditions, and delete the words "in order that the situation and living conditions of the people." On line 23, delete the word "which," and in lieu thereof, insert the words "whether this." On the same line, after the word "year," delete the phrase "may be normalized as quickly as possible." The amended special provision shall read as follows. Number 4, Quick Response Fund. The amount of 500 million pesos appropriated herein for the Quick Response Fund, QRF, open close parentheses, shall serve as a standby fund to be used for the rehabilitation and repair of health facilities, replacement of equipment, procurement of additional emergency health commodities / supplies and other essential resources, provision for emergency medical assistance, including emergency engagement of health personnel to provide medical and public health services and for other operational expenses during the response phase of the emergency or disaster to ensure the rapid restoration of health services, the delivery of critical health interventions, and the stabilization of health conditions in communities or areas affected by natural or human-induced calamities, epidemics, crises, and catastrophes, whether this occurred in the last quarter of the immediately preceding year and those occurring during the period or during the current year period. In no case shall the QRF be used for pre-disaster activities, such as conduct of training, insurance of assets, and public information and education initiatives, or any other purpose not authorized in this provision. I so move, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, the amendments are deemed submitted for consideration of the body.
Department of Public Works and Highways, new special provision, updating of highway, bridge, and flood management design manual. For the Department of Public Works and Highways, insert a special provision on updating of highway, bridge, and flood management design manuals. By ensuring that the design manuals for key infrastructure are updated and consultative, we can foster foresight, strategic, and climate smart development in DPWH project implementation. To this end, on page 3, Volume 1-B of the fiscal year 2026 GAB, insert a new special provision between lines and 2 to read as follows. Updating of highway, bridge, and flood management design manuals. To address the worsening effects of climate change and to ensure efficient and high-quality projects, the DPWH shall work with scientists, industry experts, the academe, and people's organizations to comprehensively upgrade its design manuals for highways, bridges, and flood management infrastructures, period. This includes integrating updated climate impact projections, nature-based solutions, hydrological and geotechnical risk assessments, and community-informed adaptation measures to ensure that future infrastructure projects are resilient, sustainable, and responsive to local conditions. Letter B, new special provision, roadmap for digital planning, design, construction, maintenance, and management. Still, for the DPWH, insert a special provision on roadmap for digital planning, design, construction, maintenance, and management. Mr. President, the recent events demonstrate that the scale, complexity, and fragmented nature of the infrastructure projects create the opportunity for corruption. It is therefore an opportune time to adopt a technology that will ensure efficiency, transparency, and integrity in our infrastructure projects. Building Information Modeling, or BIM, BIM, has been recognized by various countries as an effective tool in their construction industry and has institutionalized the transformative technology for designing, constructing, and managing public projects. To this end, on page 4 of Volume 1-B of the fiscal year 2026 GAB, insert a new special provision between lines 8 and 9 to read as follows. Roadmap for digital planning, design, construction, maintenance, and management, period. The DPWH shall adopt a 5-year detailed roadmap for the adoption and integration of Building Information Modeling, open close parenthesis, BIM, in the planning, designing, construction, and maintenance and management of government-funded infrastructures, period. I so move, Mr. President.
Mr. President, the amendments are deemed submitted for consideration of the body.
For the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Office of the Secretary, for the special provision of the DSWD, insert a new provision between lines 40 and 41. Specifically, special provision number 9, prohibition on political involvement in cash aid distribution. This special provision will insulate government social welfare programs from partisan politics. Mr. President, there must be no room for political exploitation and manipulation of the government programs in any shape or form, especially when those at the other end are already suffering. To politicize a social welfare program is not only unjust, but also inhumane. To this end, between lines 40 and 41, page 228, volume 1-B of fiscal year 2026 GAB, insert a new provision to read as follows. Number 9, prohibition on political involvement in cash aid distribution, period. The funds appropriated for the DSWD shall be used strictly to ensure that all cash assistance distributions, including but not limited to protective services for individuals and families in difficult circumstances, tulong panghanap buhay sa ating disadvantaged/displaced workers, and medical assistance to indigent and financially incapacitated patients program, are conducted exclusively by authorized DSWD personnel or accredited partners, period. No incumbent public official, electoral candidate, politician, or any of their representatives shall be allowed to be present in, participate in, influence, comma, or otherwise take part in the conduct, comma, facilitation, comma, or distribution of any cash assistance, comma, nor shall any political signage, comma, branding, comma, paraphernalia, comma, or activity be displayed or conducted within the distribution area, period. The DSWD shall establish and enforce protocols and reporting mechanisms to ensure compliance, comma, and any DSWD personnel who permit or facilitate such political involvement shall be subject to administrative sanctions under applicable civil service rules, period. I so move, Mr. President.
Mr. President, the amendments are deemed submitted for considerations body.
Next, allocations to local government units, local government support fund. Number 1, LGSF, Disaster Rehabilitation and Reconstruction Assistance Program. For the local government support fund, insert a new special provision on Disaster Rehabilitation and Reconstruction Assistance Program. This is in light of the extensive damage and persistent reconstruction and rehabilitation funding requirements caused by the recent tropical cyclones and seismic events. To ensure that the appropriations are responsive to the needs of the affected LGUs, the funding must align with the approved local rehabilitation and recovery plans, open close parentheses, LRRPs, and be strictly substantiated by the post-disaster needs assessment, open close parentheses, PDNA. To this end, on page 638, volume 1-B of the fiscal year 2026 GAB, insert a new special provision between lines 48 and 49 to read as follows. Number 6, Disaster Rehabilitation and Reconstruction Assistance Program for LGUs, period. The appropriations shall be used to aid in the recovery and reconstruction of the economy and livelihood in local government units directly affected by volcanic eruption of Mount Canlaon, comma, Tropical Cyclone Opong in September, semicolon, magnitude 6.9 earthquake in Cebu on 30 September 2025, semicolon, magnitude 7.4 and 6.8 earthquakes in Davao Oriental on 10 October 2025, semicolon, tropical cyclones Tino and Uwan on 10 November 2025. In accordance with the mandate of Republic Act number 10121 and the powers and functions vested in the Office of the Civil Defense, open close parentheses, OCD, the amount shall fund specific programs, comma, activities, comma, and projects validated by the Post-Disaster Needs Assessment, open close parentheses, PDNA, and included under the approved local rehabilitation and recovery plans, open close parentheses, LRRPs, of the respective LGUs, colon, open close parentheses, Roman numeral 1, shelter and resettlements, semicolon, Roman numeral 2, public infrastructure, dash, roads, comma, bridges, comma, and public buildings, comma, and multipurpose / evacuation facilities, semicolon, Roman numeral 3, education and health services, semicolon, Roman numeral 4, agriculture, dash, scraps, comma, livestock, comma, fishery, semicolon, and Roman numeral 5, social protection, semicolon. Furthermore, comma, the DBM shall ensure that funds are released in the first quarter of the fiscal year, comma, provided that concerned LGUs have completed all the necessary documentary requirements for project implementation, comma, and disbursement and utilization by the LGUs shall be subject to the pertinent provisions of RA number 12009, comma, applicable accounting, comma, budgeting and auditing rules and regulations, comma, and such other guidelines to be issued for the purpose, period. I so move, Mr. President.
Mr. President, the amendments are deemed submitted for consideration of the body.
Number 2, support to the Barangay Development Program of the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict. Further, to special provision under LGSF, insert a new paragraph for the support to the Barangay Development Program of the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict. The new paragraph ensures the inclusion of the timeline on the release of the funds, which is crucial to the success of the implementation of the program. In addition, the engagement of civil society organizations or CSOs as part of the social accountability measures is indispensable for transparency and critical in securing the public's trust for the program. To this end, on page 638, Volume 1-A of the fiscal year 2026 GAB, insert a new paragraph between lines 16 and 17 to read as follows. The DBM shall ensure that funds are released in the first quarter of the fiscal year, provided that the concerned LGUs have completed all the necessary documentary requirements for project implementation, Duly accredited civil society organizations are encouraged to actively participate in the implementation by way of Roman numeral I-1, serving as observer in the procurement process, Roman numeral 2, Municipal Development Council project monitoring, and Roman numeral 3, third-party monitoring and evaluation, and citizens are also encouraged to provide feedback on the implementation of projects, period. I so move, Mr. President.
Mr. President, the amendments are deemed submitted for consideration of the body.
Contingent fund. For special provision number 1, contingent fund, delete the words such as, but not limited to, and replace with the phrase which shall be limited to. The amendment special provision shall read as follows. Number 1, contingent fund, period. The amount of 13 billion pesos appropriated herein shall cover the funding requirements of new or urgent activities or projects of national government agencies, GOCCs, and LGUs that need to be implemented or paid during the year, which shall be limited to the following, Roman or I, small letter I, legal obligation of the national government arising from the final and executory decisions of the competent authorities, such as compromise agreements, arbitral awards, mediation settlement agreements, and professional services in connection thereto, small letter II, requirements of newly created offices, or III, deficiencies in the appropriations for local and external travels of the President of the Philippines, period. The current language on items eligible for funding under the contingent fund effectively grants the executive branch broad discretion to finance projects without adequate congressional scrutiny. To prevent this fund from becoming prone to abuse and misuse, the proposal clearly restricts its use to the 3 defined criteria as mentioned above, period. I so move, Mr. President.
Mr. President, the amendments are deemed submitted for consideration of the body.
Last, general provision. For the general provisions, insert a new paragraph to Section 34, programs and projects related to senior citizens and persons with disability. In particular, on page 677, Volume 1-B of the fiscal year 2026 GAB, insert a new paragraph between lines 24 and 25 to read as follows. All national agencies, GOCCs, and LGUs are directed to provide qualified Filipino Sign Language interpreters and accessible materials for all public transactions, services and facilities involving the deaf, pursuant to Republic Act numbers 11106, 10533, 12199, 7277, and 11650, including the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, period. The amended special provision guarantees that the government will comply with existing laws requiring Filipino Sign Language interpretation and accessibility, as well as international commitments that promote support to persons with disabilities to ensure their effective participation in society. That's all, Mr. President, and thank you very much to
Thank
the distinguished Chairman of the Finance Committee.
Thank you. And Mr. President, the amendments that were aforementioned are deemed submitted for consideration of the body. Thank you, Senator Lacson.
Majority Leader.